White House Middle East envoy Steve Witkoff has said he would not travel back to the Middle East until Israel and Hamas are very close to a peace deal. Now, White House sources tell NewsNation he's ready to jump on a plane to Doha any moment if he makes enough progress on the ceasefire talks in Europe this week. He's on his way to Europe, even closer to the Mideast, and maybe making that trip. It's all encouraging for anyone who wants to end the war in Gaza and for the hostages to finally be released. But Hamas still has not officially responded to the latest proposal put forth last week. The deal on the table would secure the release of 10 living hostages and 18 dead hostages in exchange for a 60-day ceasefire. As the conflict approaches a somber 700-day milestone, the stakes of these talks could not be higher. For more on this, we go now to our spokesperson from the State Department, Tammy Bruce. Tammy, welcome back. You said in your briefing this afternoon that Steve Witkoff would travel to the Middle East if the talks in Europe make progress. I know he's heading to Europe. There are reports all over the place that negotiations may be almost there. What are you hearing?
Well, I spoke with the Secretary also about this issue, Secretary Rubio. He was very optimistic. And that is good news. That we do have, of course, a special envoy making a stop in Europe first, but being in that vicinity, as your opening noted. But the Secretary felt that there was a great deal of potential. The President also noted this a few days ago, and that's because, look, we've got great people working on this 24/7. It has been a hallmark of the President's agenda. The Secretary has been focused on it. We know there's a lot of things going on, but we've got a great team, and we're very hopeful that there can be something coming up soon.
Patience is running thin. Hostage negotiator Adam Bowler warned yesterday that Hamas needs to, quote, take the deal now. There is some buzz out there that we might get an answer from Hamas as soon as tonight. Are you hearing that as well?
Well, I do think that because of the President's remarks and his optimism, my conversation with the Secretary, well, I won't characterize their remarks as projecting into the future, and I won't get ahead of my skis on that either. But I do think that generally what we're hearing is that, and again, the President continues with this work because he assesses that there is, of course, potential, and his own optimism indicates that. This has been a horrible thing, Elizabeth, as you know. The carnage has been awful. The world wants it to end. We know, of course, their main sponsor, Iran, is, let's say, they're on their heels because of particular events recently. We know why. And that's also important. But we've got to get those hostages out. That has been what President Trump has repeatedly said. Hamas has got to be disarmed, and they must move out of that region. They have destroyed too much. The first victims of Hamas has been, of course, the people of Gaza. And it's time for this madness to end. That is the commitment of the President and of the Secretary. And again, they move forward with this. They work on it because they understand what's possible. And I'm excited about it. I think Americans should be. But we must let the conversations, the negotiations continue. And Special Envoy Witkoff, of course, as we know, is one of the best. So we're all optimistic.
This would come as conditions in Gaza are growing even more desperate, if that could even be possible. After the deadliest day yet for desperate people in Gaza seeking food, nearly 100 Palestinians were reported killed on Sunday after the IDF opened fire on them as they swarmed food trucks. Has the State Department asked Israel why the IDF is using live ammunition for crowd control?
I would suggest here, without discussing the nature of the choices made or the investigations that we know Israel has ongoing about the nature of what's happening. Of course, there's a great deal that is surrounding these kinds of events, including the fact that there are reports, as you might understand, that Hamas is, they don't like what's happening here. They've normally been able to loot and weaponize food aid and general aid for Gaza, which allows them to control the citizenry and make money for more weapons. That has been a big success here, as we've been able to stop that. GHF has distributed over 80 million meals, Elizabeth, in that area. So there are people who want that to stop. It's a horrible dynamic. It is a war zone still. That's why we work for the ceasefire. We know that Hamas could stop this in a split second by letting go of its weapons and letting those hostages go, but they don't. So we do know, again, without commenting on the Israeli investigations, that we all want this to stop, and a ceasefire is the only way to get that done.
Right. Lots of pressure, global pressure, after those 25 nations yesterday called on Israel to end the war, on Israel to do just that, and of course on Hamas to take this deal. Tammy Bruce, thank you again, always, for coming on. All right.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.